Hello everyone, my name is Irfan Ali Rahman. I'm a student of Universitas Indonesia. I would like to share my presentation with the title The Adaptation Strategy of Singa Dorang in West Java, an Ethnography Study. Since it is an ethnography study, so we need the specific location to have the research. So we choose Kecamatan Pamengpeuk, Garut Selatan as the place where we have got our data. This place is very coastal and mountainous area, which is 86 kilometers to the city. And this place also bordered with some areas such as Indian Ocean on the south, Cikuray Mountain on the north, Cianjur Selatan on the west, and Tasikmalaya on the east. By the way, this place also has got a lot of very interesting tourism places such as Pantai Sayang Heulang, Pantai Santolo, Taman Teletubbies, or other. Let's start with introduction. So, Pencaksilat is basically very popular in Indonesia, especially for Sundanese people. So, let's say that Pencaksilat is a work created by humans in an effort to protect themselves or others, or from the threat or dangers by animal or humans maybe. And Pencaksilat also is not only a means of physical protection but also spiritual peace. As Wilson said on his result with the title The Politics of Inner Power, the Practice of Pencaksilat in West Java, Wilson very interesting with Pencaksilat communities in West Java, especially for the history. To strengthen his research, he watched some traditional Sundanese performance such as Kendang Pencak, Bus, Kuda Ronggeng, Jaipongan, Pilu, Rambak Kendang, Capi Suling, and Benjang. And they will perform in every governmental ceremonies, cultural festivals, or local celebration. On the background of the problem, as the researchers, we find some problems. They are about preserving problems and adaptation problems. So, Pencaksilat is very interesting for the last generation, maybe, but it is not for the young generation or the next generation. So, we think this is the very big problem, especially to preserve or to make the Pencaksilat, especially traditional Pencaksilat, to be developed or has got next new generation. So this is our specific place to have the data. Perguruan Pencaksilat Singa Dorang is the community or traditional community of Pencaksilat, especially in Pamengpeuk, West Java. The Perguruan Pencaksilat Singa Dorang has been built by Abah Engker since 1960, and he declared that Perguruan Pencaksilat Singa Dorang is the traditional community or traditional genre for Pencaksilat. Abah Engker has got 4 special students. He only trust to Kang Dede, Kang Ade, Kang Oleh, and Kang Awas only to transmit it to have the Pencaksilat Singa Dorang. So that's why Abah Engker only has 4 students until now. Let's talk about the research method. Perguruan Silat Singa Dorang, or the community of Pencaksilat Singa Dorang on Desa Mencagahar Pamengpeuk, Garut Selatan. We have been taken the data since July 2020 and ended on December 2021. We use qualitative method and with an ethnographic approach to collect the data. We did the observation, interview with some people there, library research, and also we use the informants or local people, maybe 1 until 5 person to support our research, but we choose only the main informant or 1 informant to support our research. To process the data, we use descriptive analytical method and then also the synthetic analytical technique. Sometimes we use it for concluding different opinions or views to find more complete as an art the unity of opinion about Pencaksilat. We have got some result on our research or our research finding are 4 adaptation strategy of Pencak Silat Singa Dorang that creates some aspects. They are mental, spiritual aspect, cultural art aspect, martial aspect, and the last one is sport aspect. The first one is mental spiritual aspect. Based on the Pencak Silat Singa Dorang, mental spiritual aspect builds and develops someone's personality and noble characters. So Abang Ker said in Sundanese language, he says that sahawae nuboga singa dorang teu menang poho ka solat 5 waktu pokona mah. In English is anyone who owns the singa dorang's move or jurus is not allowed to leave the 5 times daily prayer as a Muslim. So this spiritual aspect creates someone's personality and noble character, especially for the student of Pencak Silat Singa Dorang. Second one is about cultural art aspect. Pencak Silat Singa Dorang, the community of Pencak Silat Singa Dorang, they have got the musical instrument to have their dancing, let's say that we call it as the ibing or kembang. The movement of dancing of the Pencak Silat, we call it as ibing or kembang. But especially for Pencak Silat Singa Dorang community, they declare that their movement or their jurus is not only the movement only, but they say they have got ibing esi. So as Abang Kel said in Sundanese language, pokona lamun ngibing kudu aya esi, entong kosong. In English is you must use the power of Singa Dorang on ibing, never powerless. So in every movement of Pencak Silat Singa Dorang, somehow it is on dancing of Pencak Silat or ibing, it must have the power. The third one is the martial aspect. So there are basic principles behind the distinctive characteristic of Singa Dorang, which also played by community. In Sundanese language, Abang Ker said, kuda-kuda kudu kuat, jeung kudu rada ngajebrag. Tingali musuh, pokona ulah dihanap wae. Gerakana kudu teteg. In English is must have the strong wide position, always face the opponent, do not always on step down position. The pencak has steady rhythmic. So we think that community of Pencak Silat Singa Dorang, they have got the martial aspect as the finding of our research. The last one is sport aspect. Action strategy of the community on Pencak Silat Singa Dorang is only on training or practical activities and performance. Therefore, Singa Dorang, they don't involve in any kind of competition, but they only use Pencak Silat as a sport on training or practical activities and performance only. So that's why they create ibing esi as the special thing on their movement, especially for performance. Abang Ker karyana said, lamun jeung tampil mah teu nanaon. It means it is okay if we are invited as the performance only, not for competition. But there is still sport aspect on Pencak Silat Singa Dorang as the finding of our research. The last one is conclusion. The finding of our research, it's especially for the adaptation strategy of Pencak Silat Singa Dorang, reveal on this community. There are 4 adaptation strategies that have been built by Perguruan Singa Dorang. It is mental, spiritual aspect, especially cultural aspect, martial aspect. The last one is cultural aspect, and the last one is sport aspect. But the most important thing, the preservation of Pencak Silat Singa Dorang as the local martial art creates the cultural awareness in preserving the local arts, especially in Kecamatan Pamengpeuk, Garut Selatan, West Java. So these are some references of our articles, and this is the researchers with Abah Engker as the creator, as the owner of Pencak Silat Singa Dorang. Thank you very much. Nice to see you. See you next meeting. Bye-bye.